Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley, and welcome to Big 12 Insiders. Thank you guys for tuning in. Got a lot of good games coming on this weekend in the Big 12, man. There's going to be some basically some movers and shakers is what I like to call it this weekend. So I'm real excited about what's going to happen. There's a couple of duds, not going to lie to you, but we're going to break all that down and discuss college basketball inside the Big 12, what's going on this weekend. So I appreciate you all being in here. Again, like always, before we get started, remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in the comments section if you haven't already, and always hit that notification bell so you know when Big 12 Insiders content comes out. So appreciate you guys. Let's get into this. So right off the bat, Texas Tech at KU. You know, you look up and Tech has lost 2 or 3. I mean, it's weird. As good as they are, and don't get me wrong, the last game they were without 2 of their top 3 scorers. I mean, that's troubling. I mean, there's not a team, I don't think, in the country that's going to win a lot of games when you're out. Guys, not only are they average 30 points a game, the way that they shoot the basketball, the efficiency, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Not to mention the last game out, they played Houston, who might be the best team in the country. So, you know, keep that in mind. And the game was close, and Tech shot horrible. But they're going to KU. And KU, maybe they found themselves, maybe they haven't. The competition hasn't been the best over the last 2 games. But you know what? Maybe that's what KU needed to get themselves going back in the right direction is, you know, they blew out Oklahoma State. They beat not UCF. They beat Colorado, beat Colorado. So maybe that's what they needed, you know. But I'll tell you one thing. First of all, it looks like Tech, they're going to get their guys back. That's the first thing. Second thing is the upswing in competition, even if Tech doesn't get their guys back, is going to be something that KU's going to have to match. Now, the game's in Lawrence, so, you know, they have that advantage. It's a tough place to play. But you all, I've told you from the very beginning, I like Tech. I like this basketball team. I like their mindset. I like how good they are offensively, regardless of what happened in the last game that they played. I like how good they are offensively. But going there is a tough task, and I'm going to take KU in this game. But the reason that I'm taking KU, maybe it's conventional wisdom or not, is because – or maybe it's foreshadowing. If KU is the team that we really think that they are, they win this game at home. If they're not, then they won't. It's pretty much that simple. Now, I know some are going to say, well, come on, Big B, Tech's a good team. Yes, they are. They're a very good team. They're not a good team. They're a very good team. But at some point, you got to hold home court, don't you? And if KU's the team that I think that they can be, then they win. If they're not, then they won't. And that doesn't mean that either team, like Tech, is bad or something like that. I'm just saying if KU wants to be taken seriously, maybe that's something I should say. If KU wants to be taken seriously, because right now people aren't taking KU seriously, and for good reason. So if they want to be taken seriously, you beat a good team like Tech. If you don't want to be taken seriously, get blown out at home or lose the game at home. And you could say, well, what if they play well but Tech still wins? I don't want to hear that at home. They don't give trophies out for playing well. They give trophies out for winning. Period. End of story. So I don't want to hear that, well, we played good. No. I'm sorry. I've never been the participation type of guy. I give you credit for playing well. Yeah, you played well. Okay, great. I acknowledge it. But I don't want to hear it. Win the game. Period. End of story. I like KU to win at home, but again, if they're the team we think they can be or should be or want to be, whatever you want to use, win the game. Period. End of story. Let's move on. UCF at TCU. UCF's won 2 straight. TCU's lost 2 straight. There's not a whole lot to talk about this game. TCU's a better team at home, and this game will be in Fort Worth, so I like TCU to win it. Oh, here we go. My beloved Cincinnati Bearcats, man. I talked a couple weeks back or a week ago, I said, look, Cincinnati's got to win out. They got to win out. And if they do, they got a chance. And here we are. Dag nabbit, here we are. They beat Baylor. Now, we're going to talk about Baylor, but they beat Baylor. Good win at home. And I said at the time, I said in the power rankings, I'll say it again today. If Cincinnati goes and beats Houston at Houston, just go to Houston and win. I feel like you'll win the rest of your games and you'll make the tournament. Just go there and win. Now, having said all of that, I'm just making it seem so easy. Hey, just go to Houston and win. Yeah, just go there and beat them, who might be the hottest team in the country, also might be the best team in the country. Just go there and win. Oh, by the way, Houston's also playing to win the outright Big 12 championship game. Yeah, that's on their mind. So that's what I'm talking about, people. If Cincinnati goes here and wins, first of all, they're going to deserve to be in the tournament if they win out. But it's a tall task. Like I said, I'm making it sound easy. Houston is so good. Houston is so good. And I'm not going to pick Cincinnati to win this game, man, which means they're going to have some work to do in the Big 12 tournament because they don't have any games left on their schedule that are marquee games, that are resume-building games. This is it. Win this game, your resume, I mean, it looks really good. Or it looks better, should I say, and you have a chance. But if not, you're going to have to do some real work in the Big 12 tournament, which, unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen because I like Houston in this game. At home, they're playing well. I like Houston. Moving on, Arizona State at Utah. Again, not a game that's going to jump off of anybody's screen except for Arizona State and Utah fans. I don't know. They just kind of a game for jockeying for position within the Big 12 tournament. I like Utah at home. Utah was kind of riding high there for a minute, and they've been smacked down to reality, and here they are. But I like Utah to win this game at home. I will say this. Arizona State, maybe. Now, they won a game at K-State. We'll talk about them. I'm not sure how impressive that was. But addition by subtraction by getting rid of B.J. Freeman. Who knows? They did look more cohesive, but he was a scorer on their basketball team, and they went on the road and won a game. So give them credit for that, man. Oklahoma State at Baylor. Oklahoma State, look, they're riding high. They just beat Iowa State. I understand who was out for Iowa State, but they won the basketball game, and they didn't have to, They held home court, which a lot of people don't do, especially against good competition. It wasn't a fluke type of game either. It wasn't, Oklahoma State shot 75% from three and made 15 threes. No, that's not what happened. It was kind of a boring game, and they just won the basketball game. They just beat Iowa State. Iowa State didn't show a lot of effort. But, yeah, give Oklahoma State credit. Baylor, on the other hand, lost 3 in a row. Can't find a consistency. They just can't find it. I think that we have to now start saying and talking about Baylor in a sense of they're just not that good of a basketball team. They're just not that good. Doesn't mean they're bad or anything like that. It just means they're just not that good of a basketball team. And that's okay. Everybody in every conference, even if they make the tournament, everybody isn't spectacular. I think the misconception is that if you make the NCAA tournament, that you're a spectacular basketball team, that you're great. No, there's average teams that make the NCAA tournament every single year. Baylor happens to be one of those teams, and they just can't find the consistency. They were hurt. They're not deep, and they're just not a great basketball team. That's okay. I think they're pretty good. I'm not saying they're lousy or anything. I think they're just a pretty good basketball team. I think we've got to just get to that realization and live there. Doesn't mean they can't make a run in the NCAA tournament. It doesn't mean that because they got some talented guys, but we've been through enough of the season to know what Baylor actually is. That's all I'm saying. So, but in the game, I do like Baylor to win. They lost 3 in a row. They got to get this because, look, you lose this game and that NCAA resume starts to take a hit. They're firmly in the tournament right now, but you lose this game at home, I don't know that you're going to be able to say that for very much longer. Then, in my opinion, the best game of the weekend inside the Big 12, Arizona goes to Iowa State. Now, look, Arizona, I believe, has a point to prove. That's my feeling. They have a point to prove. And bear with me while I break it down. You look at Arizona's schedule and you look at the games that they have won on the road. Where's the high? They have one road win all year, including non-conference, that you could really hang your hat on, and that's at BYU. BYU, really good team, playing well right now, and Arizona beat them at BYU. Okay, good victory. Not that's a really good road win. Well, where's the other one? Are you going to tell me West Virginia or at Cincinnati? I don't think so. I don't think those are good road wins. I mean, they're okay. I'm not saying those teams are bad. I'm talking about top-notch competition. Arizona went on the road and won. Where did that happen? Here's your chance. Okay? Now, Iowa State, look, if they can get Keyshawn Gilbert back, which it appears that he's going to play full strength, I don't want any more excuses. Okay? It's time for Iowa State to put their best foot forward. It's that time to round things into form. They started off like a house of fire. They've kind of faded as of late a little bit. And I get that you lost a couple of games, scores are out. That happens. But it's time for them to round into form. Same thing with Arizona. It's time. I still really like both basketball teams. I think both teams are really good. But I'm going to give the advantage in this one to Iowa State because they're playing at home. And again, that's with me telling you Arizona's got a point to prove. Go to Ames and win. If you go to Ames and win, all the talk about early in the season where people were writing off the Arizona Wildcats, that will go away. It will have to go away. But that's kind of the talk, is that nationally anyway, well, Arizona's good, but, remember early in the year, they lost those games against good competition. Well, okay, it's time for them to win. Here's your opportunity to shut. And quite frankly, the people that are saying that about Arizona are idiots. It's the beginning of the season, man. Teams are just trying to get their legs loose and find themselves. People that say that kind of stuff, it's not football. It's not like football, okay? It's totally different. Having said that, they need to go win the basketball game, but I just don't think they will. I like Iowa State in this game, but I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. Best game of the weekend, maybe in the country, in Ames, Iowa. Then West Virginia at BYU. BYU is rolling, people. They are absolutely rolling. They won 5 straight, 9 of 11. The last 3 games, averaging 92 points a game, shooting over 50% from the field. They are smoking it right now. Absolutely smoking it. And they're playing physical. And we talked about this the other day. BYU lost in the NCAA tournament last year because when the game got physical, they got soft and they got beat up. And that everybody that watched, it's the truth. That's literally what happened. The game got tight and got physical, and BYU didn't stand up for it. That is not that team this year. That absolutely not. This BYU team will fight you, will punch you in the mouth if need be, which is exactly what you want going into March. They are a tough-minded basketball team. They're playing well. If they can defend, they're going to do some damage in March, people. They got it rolling. West Virginia, look, that was a good win. You needed that win over TCU, but I told you 2 games in Utah coming up, at BYU, at Utah. You got to split. You have to. In my opinion, West Virginia is still teetering, man. They are still teetering. I know that they are in the tournament. If you look at any bracketology, they're in the tournament. But now it's down to the last 4 byes. If you get swept in Utah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I'm not expecting you to win this game in Provo. I don't think you will. I like BYU. But I want you to play well. I do want you to play well. But more importantly, and obviously we're just talking about the win, you got to beat Utah. That's a game you have to win because I don't think you're winning in Provo. So go win in Utah. Save your season. Save yourself because you're teetering. You're teetering, man. And it'll be a shame because all that goodwill that, West Virginia gathered early in the season, they're playing themselves out of it now. And it's unfortunate, but it's just reality. It's just the reality. And then the last game of the weekend, Colorado at K-State. One team is still fighting where the other one looks like they've given up the fight. K-State put up a little bit of a fight at UCF, but they lost the game. Playing without Coleman Hawkins, it is what it is. I don't know how much better they're going to be. I don't know if he's going to play on Sunday or not. Probably not, but we'll see. And here's the thing. If I had any guts, I would take Colorado. You know what I'm saying? If I had the gumption, I would just take Colorado because just like I said, I think Colorado's still fighting for, you know what? Damn that, man. No, give me Colorado. Give me Colorado because I was literally just going to explain it. If Colorado is still fighting, and I don't think Kansas State is still fighting, why not just take that team? I know the game's on the road, and if Colorado's going to win a road game, here's your opportunity right here. A team that's teetering, that looks like it has given up. Here's your opportunity to win one because I don't believe Colorado's given up. I don't think they're as talented as most teams in this conference. If anybody, they might be the least talented team in the conference, but they haven't quit fighting, and Tad Boyle's still a good coach. Give me Colorado to win this one, man. So that's what I got this weekend. I don't know where you'll be. I might be here or there throwing little shorts. I don't know. This is going to be a big basketball weekend for me, man. I'm getting set up. I appreciate all the comments and the likes and the follows and subscribes this week. I know we touched on a couple of topics, or a topic in particular that, to me, it was a no-brainer for me, man. When you see something, say something. That's kind of my whole thing. You see something, say something. And I saw something that happened, and I thought it needed to be spoke on. That's it. Not holding any ill will or anything like that. It's just, to me, that's just common sense. That's all it is. So, and that's all you're ever going to get from me. Common sense and the truth based on my opinion. That's it. The truth. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'll give it to you. So I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. And I will talk to you next week. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.